Now that you have an understanding of executable programs and module pool programs, in this session, let's understand few concepts related to program execution. What exactly happens when you're running a program and how you can call these programs internally from another program, and also how to pass data between programs. When you're creating a program, you already know that there are different types of programs that you can create. So we have executable programs, include programs, module pool programs. So of all these types, executable programs and module pool programs are the two main programs that you develop. So from a user point of view, when he is running a program, it will either be an executable program or a module pool program. All the other types of programs that we create are created to be used in either executable or module pool programs. So for example, you create a function group to define a function module, but this function module is not executed by the user directly. It is created to be called in either an executable or a module pool program. So the user will run this executable or module pool program, and when this program is running, it will call the other types of programs to do various things, right? So they are not the main programs. The main programs are only executable or module pool programs. So whenever you are developing some new application, then you'll be creating either an executable program or a module pool program, and from within this executable and module pool programs, you will be calling other types of programs such as class pool, function pool, subroutine pool, etc. So in this session, let's understand what exactly happens behind the scenes when you're running this executable and module pool programs, and we'll also see what are the different statements that you can use in your ABAP programs to call other types of programs. For that, you need to first understand what exactly happens in the memory. If you recall, I said that whenever you want to run any application in the SAP GUI, you have to first open a session, and within that session you run this application. So each SAP GUI window that you open, for example, if I create a new session, then it opens this window, we call it a session, and your application runs within this session, right? So when you're running an executable program or a module pool program within that session, it creates something called an internal memory. So for example, let's say this is my session. So this is session 1, and if you open another session, it will create one more window. So this will be another session, session 2. Like that, you can open up to 6 sessions per logon. Now, when you're running a module pool program or an executable program within this session, it creates something called an internal or active internal session. So in this session, for example, if I'm running my executable or module pool program, it will create this active internal session, and your program runs within this active internal session. So all the program, its data, everything will be defined within this active internal session. And in active internal session, only one program can run at a time. Okay, you can think of it something like on your PC, you can open different windows, but only one of them can be active at any given point of time, right? So similarly, in an active internal session, there can be only one program active at any given point of time. Okay, so we have this active internal session. Let's say internal session, and within the session you also have something called ABAP memory. So there will be one memory area within each session which is called ABAP memory. So let's say ABAP memory. So this is your ABAP memory. Similarly, in the other session also, whenever you run a program, it will create one active internal session, and there will be one ABAP memory. So each session has its own ABAP memory. And there is also something called stacked internal session. So you have these things in a session. So within a session you have this active internal session, ABAP memory, and stacked internal session. Now when you're running your program, this program runs within this active internal session, and while this program is running, for example, if you call a function module, that is another type of program. So that function module will be loaded into the active internal session, and your program that is running will be going into stacked internal session. And this function module executes in the active internal session, and once the function module execution is over, it will terminate the function module in the active internal session, and your program will be loaded back to the active internal session from the stacked internal session. So if you are calling more than one program in a session, then the previous program will go into the stacked internal session and it will load the new program, or else you have to terminate the previous program and then load the new program. So if one program is running and you want to load another program in the same session, then you have two options. Either you can stack the current program in the stacked internal session and load the new program into the active internal session, or you terminate the current program from the active internal session and load the new program into the active internal session, because your active internal session can only run one program at a time. Now, for all the programs that are running in the same session, they can use this ABAP memory to exchange the data. So this is what the function modules are doing. So when you're calling a function module and passing certain parameters to the function module, that function module will use those parameters to process the data and then return some parameters to the calling program, right? So what happens is, when if my program is running in the active internal session and you use this call function statement to load a function module, then my program will go into the stacked internal session. But before going into stacked internal session, it will put all the data that it wants to exchange with the function module in the ABAP memory, and then the function module loads. It will retrieve the data left by the ABAP program that was calling it into the function module's memory. It will process those parameters, and then before the function module terminates, whatever exporting parameters are defined in the function module that should be passed to the program, it will leave those in the ABAP memory again, and it gets terminated. Then your ABAP program comes back to the active internal session and it will import those parameters that are left by the function module. So that's why, if you remember, when you're calling this function module, we use this importing, exporting statements. So the export statement will export the data into the ABAP memory, and the importing statement will import the data from the ABAP memory. Okay, so they are basically using this ABAP memory to exchange the data between them. Similarly, if you're calling another program, for example, if you're running one executable program and then in between you want to load another executable program, then you can load that executable program, and if you want to exchange any data with that program, then you can store the data in the ABAP memory, and once the new program loads into the active internal session, you can import this data that is stored in the ABAP memory, because all the programs running in the same session will have access to this ABAP memory. However, the data that I stored in this ABAP memory of this session cannot be accessible from the programs running in a different session. This ABAP memory is internal to the session. So every session will have its own ABAP memory, and it is accessible only to the programs that are running within that session. Okay. But if you want to exchange data between sessions, so if one program is running in this session and it wants to exchange data with a program that is running in a different session, then we use something called SAP memory. So we have this SAP memory in the application server, to which all sessions have access. So this session can leave some data in the SAP memory, and this session can pick up that data. Okay, so you can exchange data between sessions using SAP memory, and you can exchange data between programs that are running in the same session using ABAP memory. Okay, so with this understanding, let's see how you can call different programs and how you can exchange data between them. Let's say I'll create one program. I'll create it as an executable program, and I'll define one variable. Let's say I'll assign one default value. And I'll create one more program. Program 2. And here also I'll define one variable. I won't assign any value to this, and I'll say write vMatnar, so it's empty, nothing is there. Now in the first program, I can use a statement called submit. So if you want to call an executable program from another program, we use this submit statements. You can use it only if the program type is executable. If you have created a module pool program, then you cannot use the submit statement. So I can use this submit statement, and if I say submit this program 2, then it will call this program. So when I execute this program will be running in the active internal session, and when I say submit, when it encounters this submit statement, it will actually terminate this current program in the active internal session and load this new program into the active internal session. So if I keep a breakpoint and execute, let me ensure this is active. So this program is active. If I execute this, here if you see vMatnar, it is having 100 as a value, and this vMatnar is defined within this program. So this particular program is loaded into the active internal session, and whatever data objects you have defined will be part of this program. So it is defining them within this program's memory. And when I say submit, if I press F5, it will load this new program into the active internal session, and this current program will be terminated. Okay. So here if you see, currently this program is running, and if I press F5, it loads this new program. It's actually executing some backend code, so let's skip that. Now this program 2 is loaded, and if you actually see vMatnar at this point, it was having 100, but now it is empty because this vMatnar that you have defined belongs to this program. So these are separate. So the vMatnar that we defined in the previous program was created in the program's memory, that program's memory, and this vMatnar which we are defining here is created within this program's memory. So there are two separate memories. And when I use the submit statement, it actually loaded this program into the active internal session, and my previous program was terminated. It is no more available in the memory. So it was terminated from the memory, and it loaded this new program. Now I want to call this new program, but I want to pass some data from the previous program. So before it was terminated, I want to, whatever data was there in that program, I want to pass it to this program so that it can process that data. If you simply call it, the data is not transferred because they are having different memory, so that nothing is printing in the output. However, before calling this program, I can use a statement called export vMatnar. So using this import export statements, you can store the data and retrieve the data from ABAP memory. So the export statement will export the data to ABAP memory, and the import statement will import the data from ABAP memory. So I can say export vMatnar to memory ID and give some memory ID, let's say KIR. So whatever data is there in this vMatnar field the system will store in the above memory under this memory ID. So in this program, I am storing the value, I am exporting it to this above memory, and in the other program, I'll use this import statement to import from above memory. Import v_mathnar from memory ID. I'll use the same memory ID I used in that program. Okay. So this statement will import whatever data that previous program stored in the above memory. That data, this statement will import into this program. So if you want to exchange data between programs that are running in the same session, you can use this above memory to export and import the data. So to export the data, we use the export statement. So the program that is calling another program will export the data into the above memory, and the new program that is being called will import that data from the above memory. So now if I execute, vMathnar is having 100, and this export statement will store that value in above memory under this memory ID. Then I'm calling this submit statement. I'm calling the new program, and here you can see it is printing that value. I pressed F6, so it skipped it. So let's do it one more time. So here I'm exporting the data. Then when I use the submit statement, and once I finish this backend code, it will take us to the new program. So this is the new program. At this point, vMathnar is empty because this belongs to this program and we haven't assigned any value. However, once I execute this import statement, whatever data was left by the previous program in this memory will be imported. So it has imported that 100 value, and now I'm printing this. Okay. However, you should remember that you can use above memory only when the program is running in the same session. Now, if I execute this program, it is storing the value in this above memory, right? And only the programs running in this session will have access to that above memory. So this program has stored something in above memory. However, if I run this program, the second program, in a separate window, this import statement will not import anything because this session's above memory has nothing, right? The data is not stored in this session's above memory. It was stored in the other session's above memory. So if I execute this program in a different session, it is printing blank, right? Because above memory is specific to each session. So you can use this. When you use the submit statement, for example, let's say here I'll use some write statement to write this vMathnar. And I'll actually use these events. Startup selection, and we'll call this new program when you double click on the output. So I'll use this headline selection event. This is a list event which is triggered when the user double clicks on the output line. So when I double click, it will call this new program, and it is still in the first program. When I double click, it calls a new program and it is printing this. So just to differentiate, let me change the program. Write this is program 2 and vMathnar. So in the first program, I'm simply printing the material number, but when the second program's output screen is displayed, it should also print that text. So I'll execute. This is the first program's output. If I double click, it will call the new program using that submit statement. Let me keep a breakpoint here. So if I double click, it is executing the submit statement and the new program is called. So this is the output of the new program, And on this new program, if I'm clicking on back, it won't go to the previous program's output screen, because the submit statement has actually terminated the program, this program, in the active internal session, and it has loaded the new program. So when you click on back in the new program, there is no previous program, it is already terminated. So that's why it is not taking me back to that previous program. However, if I use this statement submit and return, if I say submit program name and return, then instead of terminating this program, when I call the new program, instead of terminating the current program, it will actually store this current program in the stacked internal session and load the new program into the active internal session. And when you click back on the new program, then the new program gets terminated and the previous program will be loaded back into the active internal session from the stacked internal session. So now, when you say submit and return, it won't terminate this program. Instead of terminating, it will move it into the stack and call the new program. So this is the program, new program. And here if I click on back, it will terminate this program from the active internal session and load the previous program into the active internal session. So that's why I can come back to my previous program. So there are two ways you can call new programs. Either you can terminate your current program in the active internal session and load the new program into the active internal session, or you can stack your current program into the stacked internal session and load the new program, so that once this new program that is running is terminated, your previous program can be loaded back into the active internal session with all its data. Okay. So if you say submit, only submit to call the new program, then it will terminate the current program and load the new program into the active internal session. However, if you say submit and return, then it will stack the current program in the stacked internal session and load the new program into the active internal session, so that you can come back to this program after the new program is terminated from the active internal session. So these are the two ways you can call your executable programs. Similarly, if you want to call a module pool program, then you have to use this statement, call transaction. So for executable programs, we use the submit statement, and for module pool programs, you have to use the statement call transaction. Let's say I'll call MM03, or another statement is leave to transaction. This leave to transaction statement works like submit, where it will terminate the current program and call the new program. Call transaction works like submit and return, where it will stack the current program and call the new program. Okay. So for executable programs, you use the submit or submit and return, depending on whether you want to terminate the current program or stack the current program before calling the new program. And similarly, for module pool programs, you use this call transaction and leave to transaction statements. Leave to transaction will terminate the current program and load the new program into the active internal session, whereas call transaction will stack the current program and load the new program into the active internal session. Now, you can use ABAP memory to exchange data between programs that are running in the same session, and we use this export to memory and import from memory statements to store the data in the ABAP memory or import the data from ABAP memory. However, if you want to exchange data between programs running in different sessions, then you have to use this SAP memory. So you have to store the data in this SAP memory, and which is accessible from any session. So with ABAP memory, you can even pass internal tables, but with SAP memory, you can only pass elementary fields, individual fields. So how do we use SAP memory to exchange data? Instead of this, I'll use the same example. Instead of export and import, I can use this set parameter ID, let's say KIR, field, the syntax is set parameter ID, your memory ID name, and the field. So this will store whatever data is there in this vMatnar in this memory, in the SAP memory, and in the other program, instead of import, I'll say get parameter ID. Same ID, field, vMatnar. So this will import that from SAP memory. Now if I execute this program, the first program, this statement set parameter ID will save this value 100 in the SAP memory, and when I double click here, it calls the new program, and that is exchange. So I'll keep one more breakpoint. So here I'll give a breakpoint on the submit statement. So we are storing this in SAP memory using this set parameter ID statement, and when I double click, it is calling this program. I'm pressing F6, and right now vMatnar is empty, but once this get parameter ID statement is executed, it will import the data from SAP memory. So it is importing that data from SAP memory. Even though this program was running in the same session, it was still importing because SAP memory is anyway accessible from any session. The difference is that earlier when I executed this program separately, the second program separately in a different window with import statement, it was not importing any data because this session's ABAP memory is different from the other sessions ABAP memory. However, now if I run this individually, also it should import because the previous program has already stored some value in the SAP memory, and if I keep a breakpoint here and execute, nothing is there in vMatnar, but after this statement it will import from SAP memory. So if one program stores some data in SAP memory, it will remain there till you log out from the system. So when you log out from the system, all the data that was generated by your programs and stored in SAP memory will be deleted. So that the lifetime of the data that you store in the SAP memory is till you are logged into the system. Once you log out, all that data will be deleted automatically. And this SAP memory is user specific. So every user has its own memory area. So whatever programs you are running under your login ID, only those programs can have access to that data that you store in the SAP memory. So if another user runs this program, he won't be importing this data. This is applicable only for your user ID. Okay. So now it is able to import it. Okay. So in short, you can use ABAP memory to exchange data between programs that are running in the same session, and you can use SAP memory to exchange data between programs that are running in different sessions. So this is useful. For example, let's say here, instead of calling this program, we are printing some material number in the output, and the user says, okay, I want to see more information about this material. Either you can write the whole logic to pull all the data about the material, or you can simply call this transaction MM03. When the user double clicks, I can call this transaction MM03 where he can check more information about that material. So there's already one standard SAP application for that. So I don't need to handle all this in my program. I'll simply call this transaction. So the user can double click on the material number. I'll take him to this MM03 where he can see all the information about this material. And once he's satisfied, he can come back to my program, right? However, now when I double click, if you notice, in the first case, it did not pass any value to this field. but when I opened it the next time, the value is still there. Because this input field, if I press F1, this input field is actually pointing to a memory in the SAP memory. So if you see this parameter ID, this is the memory to which this input field is pointing in the SAP memory. So what I can do is, in my program, I can use that memory ID to store this value. So when this program is executed, it will automatically store that value. And when this transaction is called, this value will be automatically passed. So with set parameter, I'm using that memory ID to which that MM03's input parameter was pointing to. So this value will be stored there, and when I double click, this field will automatically have this value defaulted because it will import automatically from the SAP memory when this field is displayed to the user. We can actually make it more dynamic, where we can identify, we can show multiple material numbers here, and when the user double clicks on any material, we can identify which material the user double clicked, and I'll set that material in the SAP memory using that MAT memory ID to which that MM03 field was pointing to. And then when you call the MM03 transaction, it will default that value. So when we discuss these reports, we'll see this feature, how you can make your programs interactive, how you can identify which row or line the user double clicked, and how you can get the value of that line. And then we'll use this example where I'll store that in SAP memory and call MM03 and pass that particular value. So we'll understand the coding part, how to handle it, but the concept wise, you can call different programs from within the program. And when you're calling these programs, if all these programs are running in the same session, you can use ABAP memory to exchange the data. But if these programs are running in different sessions, then you can use SAP memory to exchange the data between them. Okay. And most of the standard SAP applications, when they have these input fields, they'll be using this parameter ID to link these input fields to a specific memory in the SAP memory, and we can use that to exchange data between our programs and these standard SAP applications. So we'll be learning all that when we talk about reports. So these are some of the concepts you need to learn, you need to understand, so that you are much more aware about what's happening when your program is running within a session. Okay. So with this understanding, let's go ahead and see what are the different options we have to develop these report programs in SAP. Okay. So see you in the next video.